once this is done, I've built this PDF text object with these different styles, colors. I add it to the PDF here. We could see how this works out. If I save this to the server, thank you, Fletcher. Didn't work because why? Oh, because I have not prepared the fonts. They are not available on that server. That's why I get an error. So, sorry. I'm using fonts that are not. We could see if we just change that to this. It was the only font I used that wasn't standard, right? Let's go back and see if we can get the page this time. Whoever waits for a computer waits too long. There you go. There you see. Mixing of colors, styles, and sizes within the same object. Questions?
How do you get the, how do you work out where to place something when you've got loads of objects to place on the page? Do you have a grid where you?
You take the leaflet, this one again.
Is there a quick way of doing it? Because
I mean, here I'm placing an object within a grid. But when it's time to add this is the secret here. I have here I'm keeping check on where I am vertically. And here I'm doing some math. I'm taking the font object that I'm using, checking the text width that this text would occupy using this font. That's the text width part here. So this is the item description. What horizontal width would that use without any line breaks? If I use this font. And then I divide that with the column width that I have. And use math floor to get rid of any decimals within that. That gives me a vertical position that I can make use of. And then I check here if I have room for all of this within the page. But that's the trick, this row here.
So is that a value you read back from the PDF tags, or is that just something you keep track of yourself? Because every word, depending on what letters are in it, is
yeah, but that's what this does, text width.
Yeah.
It takes the actual text, checks it with this font, and if it's only I's and no M's, it will not take up as much space as if it's a lot of M's.
Yeah.
So this handles almost all the situations where you need to calculate if it fits within a page or not. The exception is that you can miss on a row occasionally, because it doesn't take in, I mean, if the column width isn't that wide, you can have a long word that will move over to the next row, and that will mean that this will miss with the row or so, occasionally, because it does, since it doesn't have soft hyphenation or hyphenation rules and stuff like that, it will, if an entire word doesn't fit, it will move over to the next row. So I actually have a solution where it was vital to know, to count every row used. And then I just did this based on, I split on each word, did the calculation on each word, and inserted them into a PDF text object if they fit or not. If not, I moved over to the next column. You look like that was tedious, but it wasn't. It was actually just as fast as the other solutions I had. And it did a lot of calculations, but it did it lightning fast, so it wasn't a practical problem to do it. But of course, it would be nice to have some way of getting feedback from the PDF tags. Where am I, and how much room will this occupy given these circumstances?
Yeah, I've dealt with lots of variable data printing solutions, but a lot of them have the same issue. You cannot ask, hey, did something wrap to the next line?
No.